Up, and it's no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Going to be out of bounds on GW. Emma Theodorson there tried to fight for the rebound, unable to. And it's Fordham going the other way. Tia Morgan slowly taking it up the court. And a 4-4 ball game. 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Omasholo at the high post. Now trying to cut through the defense. Puts up the shot. No good. Gets her own rebound. Trying to pass it back out to Lucretia Edwards. Now it's Nyankin at the top of the key. Nyankin, the little floater, no good. Omasholo taps it back out to Tia Morgan. Another offensive possession here for Fordham. Lucretia Edwards back to Tia Morgan on the left wing. Omasholo, and she's fouled by Kamari Sims on the low post. But Kurt Fordham able to retain possession here. A lot of offensive rebounds there from Precious Omasholo.
That is a great effort by Precious Omasholo. This Fordham team is 11th in the country in offensive boards per game, and Precious Omasholo is showing a reason why. That was 3 extra possessions for Fordham, and now they get it again under the basket.
Tia Morgan up top to Ornella Nyankin. Trying to drive through, ball stripped away by Theodorson, goes out of bounds.
I don't know about you, Anthony, but where was the foul call there? Precious, so much contact on Ornella Nyankin when she was going up on the hoop. 2 hands from her defender were on her throughout that whole time. Fordham yet again getting the extra possession.
No foul called. 15 on the shot clock. Lucretia Edwards over to Tia Morgan on the right wing. Top of the key. Ornella Nyankin's going to try the jumper. Kicks off the back of the iron. Valjevich with the offensive rebound. Tia Morgan now in the near side wing. Back up top to Valjevich. Down low, Lucretia Edwards trying to tap in the layup, no good. Gets her own rebound, second shot, no good. Gets a third rebound, and off the bank, it's good. Trickles in. Long offensive possession, ends up with 2 points for Fordham.
Anthony, I'm pretty sure that possession was just 1.5 minutes for Fordham.
4.5 to go. Kamari Sims bounce pass out to Theodorson. Omasholo once again on defense. Theodorson struggling to do anything. Passes out top. Gabby Reynolds, right wing, triples pure. GW retakes the lead by 1, under 4.5 to play in the first quarter.
Gabby Reynolds is not someone that you want to see get going. 13 points. She was on the all-rookie team last year for GW. Projected to be all A10 this season as well. Gabby Reynolds is one of the best players for George Washington as Fordham throws away the ball. And it's going to go for George Washington's way as a timeout is called by Fordham.
Lucretia Edwards, that ball looked like it went off the player of GW. I think it was Theodorson there, unsure. A 7-6 lead here for GW with 4 minutes. Interesting you mentioned Gabby Reynolds. Good for her and this GW that she is able to knock down that 3. 14% from deep in these last 5 games. Coming off a 16-point performance, though. She's been one of the main factors on this offense for GW.
This GW team really only makes up 2 people that are able to score the offensive ball, primarily Sims, Reynolds, and Lewis. But primarily Reynolds and Lewis are the people that have the most amount of points for George Washington. Last game, Kamari Sims was one of those people that stepped up for George Washington. Those 3 people combined for 53 of George Washington's 60 points that they scored against VCU. Those are the people that Fordham has to try to shut down, and Fordham has been playing some great extra effort basketball. You just got to knock down the shots when they're giving you that extra effort, because Fordham, that last possession that we saw when they were there for almost 1.5 minutes down under the hoop, it takes you 1.5 minutes to score the basketball. It's good that you're getting that time off the clock, but you should be able to score off that second chance, not your 5th or 6th chance.
Interesting first 6 minutes here in the nation's capital. We're going to take a quick break. Again, score is 7-6 in favor of GW. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey, what's up? It's Owen Kelty, one of WFUV Sports' New York Knicks beat reporters. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks look to dominate the East and bring a championship back to New York. Keep up all season long on my X account at Owen Kelty for all the highs and lows of New York Knicks basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for all things Knicks.
And we welcome you back to the Chase E. Smith Center, live from the nation's capital. Anthony Smith alongside Kurt Sippel. Kurt, with the nation's capital comes many historical monuments. We had the chance to check out a bunch of monuments well before game time. Had about an hour and a half trip, but well worth it.
Oh, definitely well worth it. As a nerd of history myself, I love all things historical. Getting to see Lincoln, getting to see the Washington Memorial, getting to see the Washington Monument, as well. We got to see the Capitol building from afar. Martin Luther King's memorial as well, especially Martin Luther King Day last Monday. Is pretty cool to see him. Definitely very cool stuff to see in George Washington. This gym, is the Charles E. Smith Center, is also pretty nice. Always get to love to see the other A-10 schools, gyms around the country. But I got to say, I'm pretty impartial to the Rose Hill Gym.
Rose Hill Gym is truly special as we resume game time here. 7-6, 4 minutes to play. Fordham with 10 on the shot clock, easily at the top of the key. Tana Baker playing tight defense, easily right elbow. Jay, it's pure. Easily cashes in the 2. Fordham retakes a lead, 8-7.
Karen Easley has been one of the people that has stepped up while Alexis Black has been out. She played 40 minutes against St. Louis the last time out. Karen Easley has just been such a valuable piece to this Fordham team. And have I mentioned that she's a freshman?
The freshman putting up key minutes for Fordham. Blocked by Veljovic on the shot down low. Looked like it was Tana Becker trying to go up. Fordham going the other way. Easley with acceleration. Tries another right elbow, Jay. This one kicks out off the back iron. Gabby Reynolds reels in the board. Going down the near side of the court, London Lilly, the other freshman, playing tight defense on her. Just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ball's loose. London Lilly scoops it up. Taking it down the court, dashing down. Over on the short corner, trying to drive the baseline and steps out of bounds. That's Peyton Doolin there, playing tight defense, forcing the turnover.
Peyton Doolin just pushing London Lilly out of the lane there, getting their possession back. But London Lilly, just great hands by her, not allowing this George Washington team to get anything easy. And Fordham has been doing a great job on defense. One thing that we heard from Coach B today in shoot-arounds was getting that extra effort, and Fordham has that extra effort today. We just got to see if they could do the full 40 minutes.
One of the biggest parts for this Fordham team, playing the full 40 minutes. 2:45 to go. Here's Theodore Orson trying to drive through the paint. Foul drawn. It's London Lilly who disagrees with the call there.
That will be their first shots at some free throws for the George Washington Revolutionaries. But right now, Anthony, I could say I'm pretty impressed how Fordham has been doing such a great job on defense. As well, you just got to finish these offensive possessions. Just going down and getting empty trips, 3 of 9 from the field. They have hit their 1 3-point shot that they got. Let me correct myself. They are not getting any free throw shots. They are going to pass it out.
Tana Becker, top of the key. Now over on the left wing, it's Gabby Reynolds. Short corner, now bounce pass, and it's blocked by Wilson Saltos. Gathered in by Kayla Berry. Look out, Emma Wilson Saltos. Vicious block, 2.5 to go. Fordham up 8-7. Easily over on the left wing. Engineering the offense. Easily taking the screen from Wilson Saltos. Now bounces it over to Wilson Saltos. She tries to put up a shot and goes wide right of the rim. GW headed the other way. Theodorson is going to try a right wing triple. It's cash. Emma Theodorson from downtown. 10-8 lead for GW. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Emma Theodorson against VCU did not score a bucket. That is her first point since 2 games ago, if I am correct.
First score against Temple, I think. Easily passes it out to Emma Wilson Santos. Misses the short floater. And the ball goes out of bounds on the attempted rebound, but going back to Theodorson. Had her season low 6 minutes against VCU. Third game with 0 points on the season last game. And 0 for 4 from three-point range in the past 2. She knocks down her first 3 of the game here. Minute 46 to go. Easily up top, London Lilly. Lilly cutting through the right side. Puts up the shot, no good. Ugne Sertotete checking in. Tries to gather in the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds. GW ball.
Ugne getting some time off the bench now after not playing against St. Louis. Ugne back in the game after having her 2 season-low games against their last 2 opponents, Bonaventure and St. Louis.
Combined 12 minutes over the last 2 games for her. Theodorson on the left wing. Passes it out to Peyton Doolin. Misses the short corner shot. Gabby Reynolds brings in the rebound. On the other short corner now, Emma Theodorson now on the right wing. Over to the left side, it's Peyton Doolin. The top of the key, knifing through the Fordham defense. Pressure by Caleb Berry. Down low, pass wide open is Gabby Reynolds. No one there, and she puts in the easy bunny.
For Fordham, who has been having some great defense all game, to just give up such an easy shot to Reynolds is ridiculous. They need to look out for that stuff and try to shift their defense back into the paint when someone's getting wide open and focus on their defenders.
Ugne over to London Lily now on the near side corner. It's Veljovic. Back over to Ugne in the low post, getting double teams, and a jump ball's called. Emma Theodorson there again on Ugne. With 44 seconds to go, will be GW ball and a 12-8 lead.
Fordham now changing out their lineup just a little bit. We're seeing London Lily, we're seeing Ornella Nyankin, Karen Easley, Ugne Sertoteta staying on the court. A taller Fordham lineup than what we're used to usually.
30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's Theodorson at the top of the key with Ugne working on her. Theodorson trying to drive through the left side, and a travel is called, and she disagrees with the call. See the facial expression there. We Fordham ball left with 32 seconds exactly.
Yet again, Anthony, an extra possession for Fordham, another opportunity for Fordham with 27 seconds on the clock. A score here into the second quarter would be big.
Scoreless for the last 3 minutes. A 5-0 run for GW. Easley waiting for the call from Coach Bridgette Mitchell. Easley on the right wing. 10 left on the shot clock. 10 left on the game clock now. Ornella Nyankin back up top. London Lily's going to try a triple. No good. 4 seconds left. Jada Wilson taking it out. 2 seconds, has to put up a shot. It is no good. Off the glass and to the left of the rim. That's the end of the first quarter. 12-8. Fordham remains scoreless for these last 4 minutes here, Kurt.
Fordham just not able to score the basketball. It's not because of a lack of opportunities on the other side of the court. It's just because they have been unable to finish underneath the hoop, as well as not able to hit their shots from three. 0 for 2 from the three-point line today. 4 of 17 from field goal. 23% from the field for Fordham. Something has to improve, and if I'm Coach Bridgette Mitchell, I'm telling them I love the effort that you're putting in on defense, but I just need a little bit extra on the offensive side, and that I feel like has been the storyline for majority of this season, Anthony. Against Bonaventure, Fordham has gotten some great options with some of their players, but now when they're seeing this more swarming defense that George Washington is putting on the court, they're kind of at a loss because they can't get into the paint and they're not able to really shoot on the perimeter as well as they want to be. So they have to figure out a different kind of move, and that is trying to distract the George Washington defense and getting someone open and getting the best possible shot. Not a good shot, a great shot. That is what Fordham's goal is, and that is what they have to do for the next 3 quarters. But they're coming into the second quarter, which is their worst out of all year.
Yeah, Fordham has really struggled in the second quarter. Over the past 3 contests, averaging 9.7. Coach Bridgette Mitchell had said before, in a couple weeks before, it said that something this team has struggled with, and they need to play a complete game. We'll wait and see if they end up to play that complete game and how the second quarter turns out. But Fordham down 12-8 against GW. Now let's send you over to the Rose Hill Studios for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here is Sam Giangrande.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey New York! Before I start, I just want to hope everyone salts their roads and drives safely because we are expecting a bundle of snow for this weekend. Let's get on the hardwood and look at some basketball right now. In the A10, VCU traveled down to North Carolina and lost to Davison, score being 51-66. Then if you go up and west, you reach the steel city of Pittsburgh, where Duquesne hosted St. Joseph's, where the Travelers lost 72-53. Looking east from the city of Bridges, LaSalle traveled to St. Bonaventure to play the Bonnies, where the home team put up a good fight but fell short, final score being 83-74. At 7 p.m., Loyola Chicago travels to the NYC of Missouri, St. Louis, where the fixture will be held in the Chavez Arena. Now for some NBA, the team from NYC, the Knicks, traveled to the city of brotherly love to take on the 76ers, final score being 112-109 to the Knicks. Then at 7 p.m., the Cavs take on the Magic in Orlando. Only an hour later, the Celtics travel to the Windy City of Chicago to take on the Bulls. Finally, the Lakers will travel to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. Tip-off at 8:30 p.m. That's all from me right now. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update. Back to you, Anthony.
Back in the Charles E. Smith Center, Ugne Sertateta just made the layup to open up the scoring here in the second quarter. 9.5 to go, 12-10 lead in favor of GW. It's Jada Wilson on the near quarter. Now over to the left wing, Kamari Sims. Thought about the three-pointer, didn't take it. Theodorson now on the far corner. Theodorson back up top. Ornaniakin playing tight defense, driving all the way to the cup is Felipa Callisto. Shot is no good. London Lily gets the pass from Karen Easley. On the near side corner, Lucretia Edwards driving the baseline. Back out to London Lily, tries the short corner floater. Bounces out. London Lily hits the deck, so does Mia James. And James recovers the board, dishes it out to Jada Wilson. Theodorson left wing. Now Callisto on the far corner. GW slows it down here, up 2, under 9 to play in the second quarter. Mia James driving to the right side of the cup. And that shot is no good, but a foul is called on London Lily. Try to swipe that basketball away.
London Lily had to commit that foul when she was trying to swipe that ball away because James was just getting to the lane without really much competition there, as we saw, Anthony, because Fordham just left a full path open, and London Lily had to rotate back right when she saw James almost at the hoop. So committing the foul because of that.
Looked like Easley was there working on her, but may have gotten drawn away from something else and was just gifted an opportunity right to the basket. And as she heads to the free throw line, makes her first shot. Has only been to the free throw line 4 times this season, 75%. That one trickles in and out. Out of bounds on the Fordham Rams. Ugne Sertateta looks very confused at the call. GW retains possession. And Coach Bridgette Mitchell also disagrees here, talking with the ref.
Coach arguing with the referees back there, talking to them currently. Are they challenging the call? They're reviewing the call is what it looks like, Anthony, because they are challenging the call, Anthony, on the floor, that it was out on Ugne Sertateta. Fordham needs to win this challenge, an extra possession, not to lose a timeout. We're going to listen to the refs.
Well, a huge offensive possession here because it was GW who had the 2 free throw shots.
As we get a look at it, Ugne Sertateta, not out on Ugne.
Definitely out on Theodorson. Looks like it's going to be a challenge one in favor of Fordham, but we'll wait and see. 13-10 score with 8:42 to go here in the second quarter. Kurt, we mentioned a little bit before the absence of Alexis Black. It's homecoming for her. Originally from Washington, D.C., the junior transfer out of Appalachian State. But, I mean, you want to tell us about the status of Alexis Black?
Well, so far what we've been hearing, Anthony, is Alexis Black is day-to-day. She did go and shoot around a little bit with the team this morning. So we don't know. Maybe we'll see Alexis Black in the next game. Maybe we'll see her in 2 games from now. But Alexis Black is just somebody that Fordham needs more than anything right now. She hasn't played since St. Joe's on the 3rd earlier in this month, but she is 24th in the nation in scoring, 3rd in the A-10 in scoring, 9th in threes, and I can just keep going because she leads in half of the categories.
She's really an all-around player for this Fordham team, someone that they deeply need on the offensive side, a good three-point shooter.
As well as on the defensive side because of how good she is at stealing the ball. Alexis Black is just all around such a great player. And that is something that Fordham needs right now, is someone that leads their offense and someone that you can hand the ball and say, go get a shot. Because Alexis Black is one of the only people on this team that you can hand the ball to and say, go and go and get me a basket. And you can reliably do that. Of course, there are other people on the court that usually have been doing that a little bit more. Karen Easley is one. Lucretia Edwards needs to start that because she has a great three-point stroke and she can shoot from the field pretty well, but she's just not been able to hit them as of recently. And you need big games from her if you want to survive in this A-10 pool that features some great basketball teams, Anthony.
Yeah, Lucretia Edwards averaging 12.8 points in the past 4 games, 6 for 25 from deep in the past 3. Needs someone like her or Karen Easley to step up. But without Alexis Black, this Fordham team has remained a very competitive team in the A10 so far. Mentioned the wild weekend that it's been, getting the first win last week against St. Bonaventure and then losing against St. Louis. But, I mean, only 2 points in that overtime period against the Billikens, though.
Fordham has had a tough time closing out games all season. I know it's just been something that they've struggled with, but you got to figure out a way to get over that slump that you've been struggling with against closing games. Fordham does win the challenge and they will get the possession back, but you got to figure out a way to start closing these games, because once you get up into a games against teams later in the season like a Richmond, who is 17-1 on the season, these teams are not going to be forgiving, and they're not going to care if you can't close the game. You're going to have to figure out a way to do it. As the refs call a blocking foul.
It's going to be on Ugnay, so another offensive possession wasted. GW heading the other way, up by 3, 13-10 with 8.5 to go here in the second quarter.
And that's 5 personal fouls on Fordham already in these opening minutes of the second quarter and the first.
Far side corner 3, Jada Wilson knocks it down. Wide open, 16-10 lead.
Jada Wilson only playing 2 minutes against VCU, had no stats that game, so she's looking to get her rotational minutes back right there at 3s, helping that out.
Drains a huge bucket to make it a 6-point lead. Mason Hill, top of the key, left wide open for a triple. No good, hits off the attachment. Rebound gathered in by GW, Felipe Callisto. Mia James now. Here's Jada Wilson, this time on the near corner. Kamari Sims left wide open on the right wing, tries a triple, no good, skips across. Theodorson with the rebound, puts up the shot, and is fouled on the way up.
Fordham needs to start playing defense without fouling. Their 3rd personal foul in the early minutes of the second quarter. This is just not something that is survival basketball for them. Eventually you're going to get into the bonus and give up these free shots. And now George Washington is getting more free throws in this game, 1 for 2 in their early trip. But now Emma Theodorson coming to the line.
Misses that first attempt. 72% from the charity stripe is Emma Theodorson. She tries to extend the GW lead. They're up 16-10 right now. Second one trickles out, easily gathers in the board. Takes it with acceleration up the court on Mia James. Spin moving and driving to the right paint. And puts up the shot, it's good. Karen Easley, shifty moves, puts Fordham back on the scoreboard.
Karen Easley just put her George Washington defender in the spin cycle there, moving and diving to the rim. Just a wonderful play by Karen Easley, very impressive.
Now Kamari Sims on the right elbow. Out to Colleen Peary, tries the triple, blocked by Precious Omashola. She's everywhere. Kamari Sims gets the rebound, puts up the shot, and is fouled on the way up.
Precious Omashola yet again with a great block, her second of the day, but Fordham just not able to retain it. And that just actually became a momentum shifter, Anthony, because Fordham got the momentum from that Precious Omashola block, and then immediately right after that, Kamari Sims shot plus free throws just gave them the momentum all the way back in their favor. And now they're up 19-12, and this bench is pretty much exploding. I could see the smiles from up here. I mean, we are above the gym right now, Anthony. We are not usually on the floor how we are. We are in the second level standing up at the tables right now.
Yeah. Kamari Sims finishes the three-point play. They're up by 7 with 7 minutes to go. In the second quarter, pass tipped away, regained by Lucretia Edwards with 14 on the shot clock. London Lily driving to the cup and puts one in. Jada Wilson was playing defense. Her shoe fell off. Led to the London Lily basket, 5-point basketball game.
I was going to mention that. Jada Wilson got crossed up and then lost her shoe. Fordham crossing defenders out of their shoes today in this game.
Left and right, 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Kamari Sims with London Lily on her. Sims out to the near corner. It's Peary. Peary drives up, puts up the floater, it's good. 21-14 lead now for GW. Easily with it. Over to Niankin, now top of the paint, it's Precious Omashola. Down low pass to Ornell Niankin. Over the outstretched hands of Niankin. Offensive possessions going to waste here for Fordham.
Just not a great pass by Precious Omashola. She saw that Niankin was taken up by two of her defenders. Just not a good pass that you would normally want. Knocks it right out immediately, and George Washington gets the ball right back.
6 minutes to go here in this first half. Jada Wilson takes it up in a 7-point lead for the Revolutionaries. Back to Wilson on the right wing. Loving out to Peary. The right wing again. 13 left on the shot clock. Up top, it's Gabby Reynolds with Easley working on her. Gabby Reynolds. Now in the short corner, Lucretia Edwards this time playing defense. The step back, Jay off the side of the rim. Easley with the rebound, loses control, and it's regained by Tana Becker. Gabby Reynolds now in the short corner again. Lucretia Edwards once there again. And a turnover. Ornell Niankin intercepts the pass that was intended for Becker. Easley takes it down the court. 5.5 to go. Easley in the short corner. She tries the jumper. No good. Wilson gains the rebound.
Looked like Karen Easley there was trying to fake out Gabby Reynolds by not driving into the lane.
Bounce pass over to Becker. Now Peary on the right wing. GW slows it down a little bit here with 15 on the shot clock. Gabby Reynolds easily applying the pressure. Now in the high post. Shot is up by Kaya Loving. Precious Omashola unable to block that one. 23-14 lead now. Fordham scores for the last 2 minutes as Coach Bridgette Mitchell calls a timeout here.
Fordham just unable to profit on any of their possessions, getting up to a 30% from the field goal, 7 of 23 today. But yet again, scoreless over the last 2 minutes, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. George Washington right now has no fear that Fordham will be shooting a three-pointer, so they're just clogging the paint and clogging their lanes so they just don't get the easy shots, and Fordham's just not able to adapt to that right now. They need to figure out something different in their game plan and not let this game get out of hand. Right now, George Washington up 9 points.
Maybe Fordham needs to start attempting the three ball just a little bit more here, trying to see if they can get some momentum going. They're actually out-rebounding GW right now, 16-14, but those second chance opportunities going to waste. Fordham unable to put points up on the scoreboard after those rebounds as both teams head back out after the timeout. London Lilly, Lucretia Edwards, Cameron Easley, Precious Omashola, and Ornella Niankin on for Fordham. As Easley gets it after the inbound, London Lilly, and now quickly back over to Easley. Lobs a pass over to Omashola. Nice juke move, and Omashola puts in the left-handed layup, 23-16, a much-needed basket for Fordham.
Great move by Precious Omashola, diving under her defender and then putting it right up off the glass. And that looks like it's a
violation called on GW's Jada Wilson. Fordham's got the ball going the other way, starting to get some more offensive possessions in their favor.
Anthony, I think they just called a carry on George Washington.
I think
that is
so.
Not something that you normally see called ever in a basketball game.
Now quickly taken away by Becker, puts up the layup, it's no good. Rebound gathered in by Reynolds, puts up the putback, no good again. Ugne fails to get the rebound. Ball jumping around, it's a ball off the foot of GW's player.
Fordham gets the ball after that out-of-bounds call. Yet again, Fordham getting that possession, then George Washington taking the ball away, but Fordham able to get that possession back. Now they need to score, Anthony. I cannot stress this enough. Back-to-back possession scoring, go on a little run.
And London Lilly, the pressure from Tana Becker and Jada Wilson. She's unable to hold on to the ball, loses it out of bounds. I mean, Fordham catches a break that GW misses the two layups. And again, another turnover.
London Lilly gets trapped on the sidelines and then just is unable to do anything with the ball there. George Washington just simply playing better defense.
8 turnovers for this Fordham team compared to 4 for GW. In the near side corner, it's Peary. Ornella Niankin on her. Peary moves and puts in the basket. Goes off the glass and in. Colleen Peary, her first points of the game, 25-16 lead for GW. Up top, it's Easley, 3.5 to go here in the second quarter. Easley bounces it over to Ugne. Ugne, Serta Teta drives up. No good. Off the bank shot. GW gathers in the rebound. Tana Becker gets it just before going out of bounds. Jada Wilson the other way.
It's a good shot by Ugne, but the rim's just bouncing it right out there. Ugne has to keep attempting that shot, backing down a defender. Very good there.
Colleen Peary again at the top of the paint. Easily there. Short corner. It was Loving. She thought about it. Now Gabby Reynolds, top of the key. Tries the three-pointer, no good. London Lily brings in the rebound. It's a 2-on-2. Passes over to Lucretia Edwards. Slows her down. Down low, pass to Ugne. And she misses the layup. 25-16, under 3 to play. Gabby Reynolds dishes it out to Becker. Her shot right under the basket. Back and forth action. Lucretia Edwards now at the top of the key. Over to Easley. Her pass just above Easley. She was unable to gain control over Lucretia Edwards' pass, and Fordham just struggling to find an offense here in this game, Kurt.
Right there, Lucretia Edwards should have probably held the ball just a little bit longer. Fordham wants to play fast, but playing fast doesn't also mean playing with mistakes. And right there, you could see that Fordham was playing fast, but allowing that mistake. Lucretia Edwards thought, let me get this pass over to Karen Easley right there, because I want to try to speed up this offense, maybe get one GW defender that's lagging down there. But just right there, turning the ball over and giving GW the possession back to go up double figures potentially.
Fordham has been scoreless for these last 2 minutes. Callisto with Mason Hill back into the game playing defense. Now two-man pressure on Kamari Sims. She deals with it, puts up a shot. It's no good. Easily heading back the other way. Lucretia Edwards on the left wing. Pass goes for Omashola. Omashola reverse layup. It's good. Precious Omashola, the story of this Fordham offense and defense, has really stepped in. Now a 25-18 lead with 2 minutes left.
Precious Omashola, 2 of 3 from the field. 4 points right now for Precious. She's been doing great stuff under the basket, blocking on defense, as well as getting those extra points on offense.
Key piece off the bench here for Fordham has been great in these past couple games. And that's something you really want to see, just the versatility of your bench. Players like Precious Omashola. As that ball goes out of bounds, GW stays with it under 2 minutes to play. Still a 25-18 lead. Kamari Sims at the top of the key. Over to Jada Wilson. Kamari Sims, 6 left on the shot clock. Sims loses control. Trying to pass it out to Gabby Reynolds when she hit the deck. Goes out of bounds. And Fordham comes up with a nice defensive stop there.
Fordham has made GW scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Fordham just has to figure out a way to profit off of those scoreless 2 minutes.
Fordham still 0 for 3 from three-point land. Mason Hill on the left wing. Up top, Karen Easley taken away by Jada Wilson. Jada Wilson all the way to the cup and is fouled on the way up by Easley. Another turnover from this Fordham offense. They can't seem to escape it here.
Wilson just getting it started, seeing that the pass was going to be just off for Karen Easley, getting the ball right back, and then getting some foul shots. Yet again, Fordham, 7 personal fouls over the first and second quarter, and now the second quarter is not even over yet, and they're up to 5 fouls in this game in the second quarter. Karen Easley has 2, and London Lily, has 2 as well. Just someone that you cannot afford to have multiple fouls in this game because of how vital Karen Easley is.
Jada Wilson goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 26-18 score. Just under a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Easily over to Mason Hill on the left wing. Up to the top of the paint. Precious Omashola driving down the right side. Precious Omashola maneuvering around and banks one in. 6-point game. Over a minute to play. Precious Omashola once again on the offensive side for Fordham.
Precious Omashola is just doing everything right now. She said, if we cannot make shots in the perimeter, I'll find a way to make shots in the paint. She's done that the last 2 times that she's had the ball.
Now the short corner, Gabby Reynolds. She tries the jumper, and it's good. Calm and composed. An 8-point lead now for GW. 50 seconds to go. Easily, slowly trots it up the court. Engineering the offense and passes it over to Mason Hill. Easily back over to Mason Hill. Left wing triple from Hill. Off the front of the rim. Lucretia Edwards gets it, hands it off to Easley. Over on the far side. Now maneuvers over to the top of the key. Back up to Hill. 10 left on the shot clock. 21 left on the game clock. Easley in the right wing. Stumbles. Now 4 left on the shot clock. Back over to Easley. Down the left lane. Puts up the floater. No good. Wilson Santos gathers in the rebound. And banks one in on the putback. 28-22. 5 seconds left. over the right wing triple. No good from Kamari Sims to end the first half, 28-22. But some better offense here in this last minute from Fordham, especially on that last offensive possession, able to get the rebound, put in the 2 points, and Precious Omashola putting in a lot of points down low in the paint for this Fordham team. But still, something needs to change going into the second half.
Precious Omashola, 3 of 4 from the field for this Fordham Rams. Fordham turning the ball over 10 times in this game so far. And again, they're able to out-rebound George Washington 23-17, getting those second-chance opportunities. They're just not able to profit from those second-chance opportunities so far in today's game. Fordham out-blocking George Washington with something that you don't see normally very common for this Fordham team. George Washington is very good at blocking the basketball, playing that defensive effort that they normally do. But Fordham just doing a great job on the defensive effort. But in that closing quarter, just then, Fordham has had the opportunity there to score the basketball a lot more, and they're doing a very good job at it. They just got to keep it up there. For Emma Wilson-Saltos, we saw her get one through. That was big because she has not scored yet in today's game. Before that, over 4 defenders. Just a great job by Emma Wilson-Saltos. Precious Omashola needs to keep it up, but we just need to see a little bit more from everybody else. Karen Easley has 4 points. Someone that you need to see shoot the ball just a little bit more. Lucretia Edwards is 1 for 5. She should not stop letting it fly. Lucretia Edwards is somebody that needs to try and hit those three-point shots, hit those shots from the field, and she cannot be afraid of a shooting slump. She just has to try to put it in the basket.
Lucretia Edwards, someone that needs to step up for this Fordham team. She's one of the main scorers in the three-point game for this Fordham team. She's been held to 2 points. Easley's been held to 4. Precious Omashola leads all of Fordham in scoring. Fordham 0 for 4 from deep in this game, something that needs to be improved in the second quarter. Something that you don't really need as much to win a basketball game, but could be key in momentum and just getting points when you need it most. But that's going to do it here for the first half, a 28-22 score, GW in the lead. Let's get you back over to the Big Apple, to the Rose Hill Studios, as Max Langer and Sam Giangrande have us covered for the one-on-one halftime report.
The one-on-one halftime report.
And we bring you about 250 miles up the I-95 north to the Bronx and the Rose Hill Studios for the one-on-one halftime report. My name is Max Langer. I am joined by Sam Giangrande. And before we get into the events that played out in that first half, we've got a one-on-one scoreboard update from you, Sam.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey y'all, Sam here, and it's time for the NFL Conference Championship on Sunday. The New England Patriots are traveling for the first time during these playoffs, going out west to face the Denver Broncos. Though Bo Nix is out, locals in Denver have their faith in Jarrett Stidham, who is facing his old team that drafted him back in 2019. What were you doing back in 2019? The Patriots are used to these cold conditions, but will they be able to be handling being the traveling team for the first time during these playoffs? The Patriots go against the Broncos at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Then at 6:30 p.m., the Rams go up north to take on the Seahawks in the Emerald City. And no, not from the Wizard of Oz, but in the great state of Washington. This is the game that everyone's looking at, with the best offense against the best defense in the NFL. Will the Rams be able to break through the Seahawks defense, or will they get stopped by the best defense in the league? The country has their eyes on this game, and the ball is getting punted at the first time at 6:30 p.m. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update.
And we're back. Welcome inside. Thank you for that very entertaining update, Sam. Let's talk about this first half here from our nation's capital. George Washington right now leads it 28-22. A couple of storylines from that half. Both teams shot about evenly from the field in terms of percentage. The Revolutionaries shot 39%, whereas the Rams shot 36%. But what's giving George Washington this 6-point advantage here at intermission is their 3-point buckets. And also, Fordham has 10 turnovers compared to George Washington has only 5. What are your thoughts so far, Sam?
I think, obviously, this game without Alexis Black, a huge blow. I think if Alexis Black was there, it would be a lot closer of a game. But I do think Fordham's going up very well and being able to play the game without her. Though I think the biggest thing hurting this team a lot right now is that 3-point percentage, having 0% and missing all 4 of their shots right now. Really, they do need to improve on that. I think that's one thing without having Alexis Black, where she did make a lot of those threes. Without her being there, it's causing the team to fall behind a little, especially in the long game.
Yeah, definitely. George Washington's 3 of 6 from downtown. The Rams are 0 of 4. They've yet to hit a 3-point shot. And I think what's interesting to, point out is that both of these teams are coming off, tough losses, right? George Washington is coming off 2 close losses. Obviously, being up here in the Bronx, we saw the Rams lose on Wednesday and an overtime heartbreaker to St. Louis. But right now, both of these teams are not doing a particularly great job at taking care of the basketball. And typically in these types of games, as we've seen Fordham play all year, taking care of the ball and having as many extra possessions as they possibly can is paramount to their success. And while they're getting a lot of second chance opportunities and rebounds, we saw Emma Wilson-Saltos put in absolute work on the offensive glass there in the first half. They're either not converting that or throwing away those opportunities by committing turnovers on the ensuing possessions.
I think Fordham's been doing well getting that ball with 7 offensive rebounds and then 16 defensive rebounds. They've been able to do a lot with getting the ball and having possession, but what they do with the ball and being able to score and get in the basket is really what's holding them back right now. Fordham going, it's very close with the field goal range, 35% to 37%. They are close in that, but when you just look at that 3-point percentage, they really aren't doing that too good with it, which is really holding that team back. If they're able to at least get half of them, it puts them, I think it has a tie game.
The big 2 threes, yeah. Tie game, 28 apiece.
Tie game.
Football score right there.
If they're able to make those threes, then it would be a lot closer of a game. But Fordham's always with that one side. I think it's the threes that always hold them back.
Yeah, Sam, when I was a basketball player in my heyday, what I was told is that you can't shoot if you don't score, and if you don't score, you're not going to win the game. Fordham needs to start scoring more, and the most important thing is to go out and make these baskets. I think, another thing we have to point out is that when there have been turnovers, which are key to what's going on in this game, George Washington has scored 7 points off of them, whereas Fordham has yet to score off any turnover. What do you think the Rams need to do in the second half here, Sam, in order to get this game back to a more manageable deficit? Because we have seen, a prime example is last Sunday, right? Rams are playing St. Bonaventure here at home. They fall behind 7 in the opening quarter, and then by halftime, they lead by 7. So we have seen that the Rams have the ability to come back from deficits as large as 6, 8, 10 points. They just need to do it. How can they do that?
I think using the opportunities they have, just how you said with the turnovers, if they're able to turn over the ball by not doing anything with that opportunity, it's really going to put them behind. And same thing with the 3. Every single time they do have an opportunity with the ball, they don't use it as wisely as they should. And I think going to the locker room, one thing they should do is, instead of focusing so much on possession, it's being able to actually shoot the ball. Just having the ball with you and having possession is not going to do anything when you're behind. I think if Fordham focuses on having possession when they lead, maybe by around maybe 8 points, if they have a good, decent lead, they should be able to focus on possession then and be able to use those really good defense they have and be able to focus on the rebounds, which they do really well. But if they focus so much on possession but not being able to get into the ball and through the net, then there's no point of having the ball that much. They need to be able to get back into the game, focus more on attack, and then they can focus more on possession-based style of play.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. I think what we need to look at also is that we can't necessarily control whether the ball goes in or not. We definitely can. The Fordham players can. But, sometimes you just aren't hitting your shots. Sometimes you need to adjust the style of play. We saw that more so in the second quarter there when they shied away from that 3 ball and started attacking in the paint more to try to get, 2-pointers instead of just firing from distance relentlessly. I think the Rams need to try to limit their runs here. In terms of scoreless droughts. They didn't score for the first 2:40, and they had a number of those throughout the first half where they would go, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, where they wouldn't be able to get a bucket, and that allowed George Washington to go on runs of their own and sort of build up this lead that they hold here at the halftime. Sam, in terms of the second half, what do the Rams need to do on the offensive end to just make sure that they're not going for long scoreless periods?
I think instead of wasting all that time getting the ball, it's focusing on getting the little points. especially if, say, if the 3 game's not working, they should be focusing inside the paint, being able to get the ball through the hoop, be able to chip away at those points, and especially they're fouling way too much. For them to send their team to the line and they don't get sent to the line that much, one thing they should be doing is, instead of fouling the other team, try and get in their heads, do a little mental game, get sent to the line, chip away at that score. Only being down 6 points right now, they should be able to slowly get back into this game if they either go inside the paint and shoot from there, or if they try and get sent to the line more.
Absolutely. Sam, I couldn't have said it better myself. And to end off our halftime show, I'll use the words of Yankees manager Aaron Boone. It's right in front of us. And for the Fordham Rams, that's what they have to do in the second half. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to send it back up to Washington, D.C. for Anthony Smith and Kurt Sippel. We'll see you post-game, folks.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace McCarran, and I'm one of your 2025-26 New York Islanders beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Follow me on X at GraceMcCarran_ for live game updates, features, and other inside content from the island all season long. From the development of first overall pick Matthew Schaefer to incredible saves by Ilya Sorokin, WFUV Sports has you covered every step of the way as the Isles look towards the postseason. WFUV is your home for New York sports.
Hey Devils fans, Tucker Austin here from WFUV Sports, one of your New Jersey Devils beat reporters for the 2025-26 season. From Hughes Brothers Havoc to Heischer hat tricks and Markstrom masterclasses, I'll have you covered live from the Prudential Center for all things Jersey hockey. Follow me on X at @Taustin_24, where I'll have live game updates, analysis, and post-game coverage all season long as the Black and Red look to bring Lord Stanley back to the Rock. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New Jersey Devils.
And we welcome you back to the nation's capital in the Charles E. Smith Center. Resuming play in just a couple minutes here for Fordham women's basketball against the George Washington Revolutionaries, 28-22 scores. Both teams are back on the court warming up before we get started for the third quarter. But Kurt, we've actually got something really cool to talk about related to GW, right?
So GW has a very big legendary women's basketball program. They've had a bunch of players go to the WNBA, most notably Jonquel Jones, who plays for the New York Liberty, a champion 2 seasons ago. But Fordham right now as well, having some legendary people of themselves from the Fordham women's basketball team, not maybe playing in the W, but broadcasting and announcing the W. Idona Thakal from the Fordham women's basketball team a few years ago has become an analysis as well as a reporter for the USA Network for the WNBA, their first season. It's pretty cool as broadcasters ourselves to see that, people are getting these opportunities and these shots, especially in the field like the WNBA that is only growing as of recent years as well. Just a very cool opportunity, and it's cool to just see that the Fordham Alumni Network of broadcasters and reporters that is so legendary, featuring some names like Mike Breen as well as Michael Kay, and now is growing to people that have even more opportunities from the Fordham women's basketball team from all over the Fordham campus. Just a very cool opportunity that a former Fordham Ram gets to join the WNBA in such a great fashion.
Well, it's always great to see fellow Rams, getting great opportunities in the field and in such big sports. I mean, obviously the WNBA and the way it's just grown over these past couple of years. And you said it perfectly, as broadcasters ourselves, that makes the moment feel a little bit more special for us and we can appreciate it a lot more. It's just something so cool that Fordham has to offer, just the network that Fordham has in WFUV and all the community around it and everybody that just loves the art of broadcasting.
It's true. Talking hoops, talking football, and
talking
any other
everything.
sport under the sun.
Talking everything.
But
the one thing that we do need to talk about, we don't know what he's up to, but he's got to be up to something. What is Shedeur up to, Kurt?
Not really sure, Anthony. I know we have that promo that plays, but not really sure on NFL Friday. We've talked about Shedeur Sanders in quite some time, Anthony, because Shedeur Sanders is not in the NFL playoff. Some exciting football coming up on Sunday, but right now we got to cozy up in George Washington in the Smith Center. Time to talk about this A-10 matchup with George Washington and Fordham. I kind of expect Fordham to come out in this game and just be a little bit better off next time and try to figure out their way against this George Washington defense. They've been quite smothering against this Fordham team, but Fordham has been resilient almost all year. But yet again, closing games has been Fordham's biggest issue. Fordham's going to have to figure out a way to close this game. One, get a lead against George Washington, which they haven't yet done in this game. Two, they're going to have to figure out a way to just get over this defense that has given them such hard times. And Fordham, out of any team that I've watched all season, is able to regain. Coach Bridgette Mitchell tells her players very good things in the locker room, it seems like, that gets them fired up to go. So we'll really see what happens as Fordham runs out their next 5 to play. It's a little different of a lineup we're seeing right now with Emma Wilson-Saltos probably playing the center position. London Lilly in the backcourt joining her with Lucretia Edwards, Karen Easley rounding it out with as well as Tia Morgan.
And we resume play here from the nation's capital. It's Gabby Reynolds over on the left wing. Now takes it out to the center, and Mari Sims out. It's the far corner now with Mia James. 15 on the shot clock. James over to Reynolds in the left wing. Gabby Reynolds looking for something out to Mia James. 7 on the shot clock. Down low pass. A bounce pass over to Becker, and she taps one in. Picture perfect start here for GW. 8-point lead now.
Immediately, GW just able to barrel their way into the paint and really make this Fordham defense fall asleep. Fordham's going to have to play the exact same defense that they were playing over those last 2 quarters in this game to even stay in it.
Far corner 3, Lucretia Edwards, it's good! Lucretia Edwards drains a corner 3. Fordham makes their first 3-pointer of the game, 30-25 with 9 minutes to go.
Huge basket for Lucretia Edwards, getting to see one go through for her. She could be dangerous.
Now GW back the other way. In the low post, it's Becker. Up top, Kamari Sims for 3. Kicks off the heel. Rebound gained in by Mia James. Mia James over to Becker. Now Kamari Sims. Here's Gabby Reynolds. Tries the right elbow J. No good. Wilson-Saltos gathers in the rebound, but it's knocked away now by Kaya Loving. And Fordham will have offensive possession down by 5.
Fordham had a good defense there, just George Washington putting in that extra effort, getting those extra O boards that Fordham would normally be the ones that grabs down. But they're just, both of these teams are great rebounding teams, but Fordham just a little bit better on those offensive rebounds than George Washington is. But in the starting of that second half, just doing it better than they were.
Easley on the right wing now moves to the center, puts up the floater, it's good. Karen Easley now cashes in a 2. 30-27, and Fordham starting to crawl their way back into this game.
Fordham back-to-back possession scoring, Anthony. That is a pretty big thing that we haven't seen almost all night.
Gabby Reynolds at the top of the key. Tia Morgan playing defense. Got 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Kamari Sims passing out to Becker. Reverse layup is no good. Becker regains possession. Somehow bounces it out to Mia James in the short corner. Now back up top. It's Kamari Sims. Over to Becker. Out to Loving, getting pressured by Tia Morgan and Lucretia Edwards. A jump ball. Lucretia Edwards goes over to the ref, gives him the travel sign. She thought it was a travel. It's going to be a jump ball and Fordham ball.
Fordham gets the jump ball call there, and now within 3 points of George Washington, Fordham has the opportunity to tie this game or get within 1 point. This can be a massive momentum changer for Fordham here.
Already feels like a massive momentum change after the Lucretia Edwards 3. Here's Easley down the right side, gliding to the cup, and is fouled on the way up by Loving. With 7.5 to go, Easley is going to head to the free throw line for 2 shots. chance to make it a 1-point basketball game.
Anthony, Karen Easley is only 5'5", but it feels like she's playing like she's 6'1". Karen Easley is able to just dribble all the way down to the lane and just put up her shot as whatever she wants, really. She's not afraid of the defenders in front of her, almost ever, Karen Easley. She will drive on anybody, no matter the size, no matter how many guards are on her. She will finish the bucket, and if not, she does not fear contact.
First free throw was good. The second is good. 67% from the free throw line. Makes it a 1-point game. 7.5 to go here in the third quarter.
How many percent is she, Anthony?
67 to be exact, Kurt. Gabby Reynolds takes it across the timeline, working with Mia James. James on the left wing. James just circling around the arc, passes it out to Theodorson, who checks back into the game. Gabby Reynolds at the top of the key, cutting through the left side, now passes it out near side, corner three. Kamari Sims swirls in and out of the iron. Rebound bounces around. It's going to be Fordham ball. Went off a couple Fordham players. They luckily catch a break, as it looked like Gabby Reynolds was trying to get the rebound off the ricochet, but was unable to. So Fordham with offensive possession, now a chance to take the lead here, Kurt.
Fordham, another opportunity. They've scored on all 3 of their last opportunities down the court with foul shots as well as a 3 and a 2. Maybe Fordham can take the lead back right here.
Lindsley, top of the arc, triple, no good. Rebound is gathered in by George Washington. Nice play by Tana Becker to keep it in and dish it out to Mia James. Missed opportunity for Fordham. Over 6.5 to go in the third quarter. In a 1-point game, it's Theodorson on the near corner, trying to drive the baseline. Bounces it over to Becker. Becker puts in the bunny. Back to a 3-point game in favor of the Revolutionaries.
Yet again, the Fordham defense falling asleep under the basket. Becker gets a wide open lane after getting that pass. Fordham just distracted by the two other people off them.
Edwards moving through the GW defense, puts up the 2, and it's good. Back to a 1-point game. Lucretia Edwards starting to get a little bit momentum here in this second half.
Fordham now up to 41% from the field. A far cry from when they were at 29 just a few minutes before in the second quarter.
Mia James on the far side of the court in the right wing. Up top, Theodorson, her triple, bullseye. Emma Theodorson from downtown, her second triple of the game. GW back up by 4.
Emma Theodorson, only a 30% three-point shooter on the year, did not hit a shot last game. Fordham just has to find a way to defend this line from George Washington, who has been doing a great job at
Wilson Saltos guarded nicely by Kamari Sims. Her shot goes no good. And now GW with it. 5.5 to go in this third period. Kamari Sims in the near corner. Back to Theodorson. She hands it back off to Kamari Sims. Loses the ball. London Lily gets it. She slows it down, passes it out to Easley, as now Easley takes it across the midcourt line. Over 5 to play in the third quarter. Edwards, the pass goes to Edwards, and it's out of her reach. Long pass ahead to Mia James. Her shot is no good on the layup. Mia James, missed opportunity. Now it's Edwards at the top of the key. Over to Tia Morgan in the left wing. Tia Morgan circling around the screen from Wilson Saltos. Now it's a London Lily. Wilson Saltos maneuvering around, puts up the shot off the spin move, and it's no good. Wilson Saltos fails to cash in. Still a 4-point game. Long pass ahead. Gabby Reynolds on the right wing. Reynolds looking for options. Now in the far corner. Now takes it over the left-handed layup, and it's no good. Unable to even get a shot off, but fouled on the way up.
This game's pace right now is picking up, Anthony, as Fordham is playing faster and George Washington is trying to respond. Yet again, Fordham, another foul, but this time later in the game, later in the quarter for Fordham, with one personal foul. That's a pretty big change that Fordham made out of the locker room, not fouling George Washington as much, playing better defense. But you could see George Washington whiffing the opportunity under the basket just there when they had a wide open shot, and Fordham whiffing the opportunity under their basket as well. Just need something to change if you're Fordham right now, because you have to profit off these opportunities. You cannot allow George Washington to stay within these 3-point leads, 4-point leads, while they feel like they're so easy to overcome. Sometimes they feel like mountains with this Fordham team.
And Fordham, really great start off to the second half. But now scorers for the last minute 43. A 35-31 lead, 4.5 to go. Timeout called. We're going to step aside here, but we will be back to the Charles E. Smith Center with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Carino.
And I'm Joe Henry.
Tune in weekly for NFL Friday, your exclusive WFUV sports podcast for all things National Football League.
We'll be covering everything on and off the gridiron for the biggest sports league in the world. Every week on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast.
Can the Eagles repeat?
Will the Jets or Giants finally take a leap?
What's Shadur up to?
All of that and more on NFL Friday on WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back to the Charles E. Smith Center. Anthony Smith alongside my partner Kurt Sippel. What is Shadur up to? We don't know what he's up to. Nothing football related, we assume.
He might be watching Fordham versus George Washington right now.
He might. It's a really good contest right now. But for tomorrow, I know what I will be watching, Kurt. The 2 championship games, trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Patriots, Broncos in the early slate, and then the later slate at 6:30. Seahawks, Rams, an NFC West showdown, their 3rd of the year. Should be a very interesting Sunday. With the snow coming down, feels like it's going to be a perfect day of football tomorrow.
Definitely will be, Anthony. Good time to stay in the house and watch some TV. Perfect football weather, it feels like. The snow is always perfect football weather. But right now, basketball weather is in full swing while we're here in the Charles E. Smith Center. Fordham needs to figure out a way to just get off these shots, shooting 38% from the field in this 3rd quarter. Right now, outscoring George Washington 9-7. And Fordham actually had a pretty good second quarter, which is not normally something that you see. 14 points for Fordham to George Washington 16, something that you don't see from Fordham as much because their second quarters are usually worse.
Gabby Reynolds to the charity stripe, makes her first out of 2. And her second shot is good. So 37-31 lead, 4.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. I think the first quarter was more of a struggle for Fordham as now George Washington playing full court press. Karen Easy loses the ball. Gabby Reynolds hits the deck. Out to Tana Decker. She loses it. And a timeout called by GW. The GW bench and the rest of this fan base in attendance here is thrilled with that defensive possession right there.
That was a great... Okay, it's out on their side. Okay, because the ref was holding up a fist like it was almost a foul, but I was not sure about that. But yeah, that was a great defensive possession by George Washington, doing exactly what they had to in that extra effort play. That's a Fordham kind of play, Anthony. Usually a play that you'll see by Fordham that will give you that extra effort, maybe show a little bit more on that defensive side. But now that George Washington is trapping, Fordham is having a lot of trouble on this side of the paint and turning the ball over. Right now, Fordham is up to their 12th turnover on the night to George Washington's 7th. Fordham's got to keep those turnovers down because this George Washington team just wants these extra possessions. Already up to 6 already. Fordham had it within 1, and George Washington ballooned it back into 6. And yet again, Anthony, I'll say it again, it feels like this 6-point lead is more of a mountain than anything else.
That full court press really was something we haven't seen from this GW team throughout this whole game. Something you see, obviously you mentioned, from Fordham. I mean, but a really good start to the second half. It's kind of slowed down here in these past couple minutes. Fordham needs to have consistent offense if they want to win this game today.
Definitely need consistent offense. Definitely need consistent. I think the bigger thing than offense right now, Anthony, Fordham needs consistent effort. I think that's something that you have to see from this team constantly is you need consistent effort against a lot of the teams that you're playing against, because without consistent effort, there is going to be no opportunities at the end of the day. And yet again, you're in an A10 that has some great opponents in it, and it's going to be very tough when you start playing the better opponents. I know they've kind of sealed up their stretch just a little bit against Richmond and teams like that, but there are only better teams on the way as well as you play teams like St. Louis, as you play teams like VCU. You do have easier games like Duquesne, but Rhode Island is a team that has yet to lose a game in the A10. And they're coming up pretty soon. I mean, February 21st isn't a month, but still, you don't have many games until that happens. And by that point, it's A10 play. It's A10 tournament time. So you have to find your games to win now. Your main goal is to not play on the first day and try to get that second round bye. And Fordham has to figure out a way to do that because this Fordham team is good enough to compete with any team in this A10, especially fully healthy with Alexis Black, who they are missing right now. They just have to show it.
Absolutely, Kurt. I mean, you mentioned this Fordham team has played really competitive games in the A10 so far with the absence of Alexis Black. Now switching over to the GW side, their last game against VCU, 63-60 loss. We talked about it yesterday, Kurt. That first half, really jaw-dropping stat. 38-15, they were outscored in that first half, went on a 45-25 run in the second half, still handed the loss. Trio of Gabby Reynolds, Sarah Lewis, and Kamari Sims combined for 53 of GW's 60 points. Haven't really seen that three-headed monster here today, but still a lead. Now here's a far side triple. It's no good from Colleen Peary. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Easily loses control as he takes up the court, but she regains it. Over on the right wing, trying to take a screen from the Yankin. Unsuccessful on the screen try. Tia Morgan, top of the key. 14 on the shot clock. Morgan, the left key. Takes the screen from Owashola. Now dancing around. Out to Kayla Berry. 4 on the shot clock. Shot's got to go up. It's no good. Goes under the basket. And it's going to be Fordham ball. Theodorson was with it on the baseline. Unsure what the call there was, Kurt.
It seems like it was out of bounds on GW there. Pretty good heads-up play by Fordham there to hand the ball off to GW and now get a fresh shot clock back in their own lane. Fordham has 20 more seconds to get a shot off. As we see it again on the board, it's definitely off of Theodorson as she reached over the baseline to get it back as Karen Easley inbounds the ball.
These extra offensive possessions could be so clutch. Tia Morgan pump faking the three on the near corner. Over on the right wing, out to Yankin. The right elbow and a foul is called. It's going to go on Gabby Reynolds. And it's going to be an inbound on the GW baseline. 3.5 to go here in a 6-point game. 37-31 in favor of the Revolutionaries. Up top, Kayla Berry on the right wing. Hands it off to Easley. Taking a screen, Easley. Top of the paint. Cuts through the defense. Puts up the floater, no good. Kind of skips off to the left of the rim. And it's GW the other way. Peyton Doolin slows things down at the top of the key. Out to Gabby Reynolds on the left wing. Reynolds now takes the screen. Bounces it over Theodorson. Short corner. Cross-court pass. Peary. Peary drives up. Bank shot's no good. A foul is called on Precious Omashola. In that facial expression, she kind of believed that maybe she didn't draw a foul there, but that's the call regardless.
Precious Omashola, that is her third foul of the day on Precious Omashola. That is not somebody that you want to see get fouled out. I mean, she hasn't done much since the second quarter, Anthony, but Precious was just someone that was dragging Fordham all the way back into this game in that second quarter when she had 3 of her 4 field goals there.
Now Colleen Peary makes her first free throw, 89% from the charity stripe. Leads the team. She misses the second one there, maybe a little announcer's jinx. Tia Morgan crossed the timeline off the pass from Easley. Now back over to Easley. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter in a 38-31 game. Easley working on the near corner. And Colleen Peary gets the foul called on her as Easley falls on the court.
Peary's first foul of the game as Fordham gets 20 seconds on the shot clock. And Karen Easley will pass out the ball. Fordham needs a shot here to stop the bleeding after going scoreless for the last 2 minutes.
Seen a lot of those streaks for Fordham going scoreless. Now 15 on the shot clock. Niakin driving down the left lane, puts up the shot off the bank. It's no good. Rebound gathered in by Theodorson.
Seems like it's going to be Fordham's ball yet again after a foul. George Washington really racking these up in these quick seconds.
Foul called on Emma Theodorson there on Precious Omosholo, looks like, as Lucretia Edwards checks in.
Fordham needs a possession here of scoring. Up 7, George Washington. You need to stop the bleeding just a little bit before going into the fourth quarter.
Just 9 points in this third quarter for Fordham. Pass inbound to Niankin. She tries the right elbow J off to the side of the rim and no good. Goes out of bounds. GW ball. Quick offensive possession there for Fordham.
Yet again, Anthony, Fordham had the opportunity with a 20-second shot clock. It felt like they could have done something a little bit different with that shot instead of rushing that shot that they put up from Lucretia, but something else has to change here. They need a defensive stop and get this energy up off the bench.
Gabby Reynolds on the left wing is fouled by Kayla Berry. 2:11 to go here in this third period. A 7-point game. Revolutionaries leading the Rams.
Another foul on Fordham as George Washington will inbound the ball yet again. That will be Emma Theodorson on the baseline.
Scoreless for the last 4 minutes are the Fordham Rams. A 6-0 run here for the Revolutionaries. Gabby Reynolds loses this. She tries to drive to the rim. Onara Niankin hits the deck along with Emma Theodorson, a jump ball. It's going to stay with GW here as Mason Hill now comes in for Kayla Berry.
Yet again, Anthony, Fordham is the lack of possessions is not the issue for Fordham in this game. Going scoreless for 4 minutes and 9 seconds is just because they have not been able to hit shots. 1 for 8 in their last field goals, and as well as 1 for 7 in their last 3-point tries. Just something Fordham cannot keep up doing. Only 9 points in this third quarter.
Gabby Reynolds, step back J. Gophers out, and Niankin gathers in the board. Bounce pass ahead to Lucretia Edwards in the left wing. Now bounces over easily. Now back to Edwards, left wing triple. No good. Rebound gathered in by Omosholo. And a jump ball's called. Looks like Gabby Reynolds and Precious Omosholo fighting for that ball. Reynolds nearly steals it. And another jump ball called. This one instead is going to go in favor of Fordham.
Precious Omosholo giving those second chance opportunities for Fordham and being such a valuable member of this Fordham Rams team today. Something that she's been doing today, trying to give that extra effort to this Fordham Rams team. They just have to score.
Mason Hill drives up and puts in the floater. The 2 points are good. 38-33, minute and a half to go in the third quarter.
Mason Hill finally ends the 5-minute scoring streak for Fordham.
Now she's playing tight defense here, nearly forces the turnover. Over on the right wing, it's Kaya Loving. Up top, Gabby Reynolds. Now kind of retreats back to the top of the key. Driving through the right lane. Loses the ball on the way up. And it's going to be another jump ball here on the Fordham baseline. It's about like 3 of them these past like minute and a half.
Well, Anthony, both of these teams are willing to go the extra mile, and you could see that with these jump ball calls. Both teams are willing to dive on the floor and try to get that extra ball, try to get that extra possession, and they've been doing that both ways, just neither able to score.
Reynolds to Kamari Sims, what a move. Left all alone right next to the basket. Probably the easiest basket she'll ever have in her life.
Fordham is going to show that on film probably 40 times over. That was such a collapse on defense by the Rams.
Cornell Niankin losing control, hits the deck, trying to pass it out to Mason Hill. Unable to get it out. Kamari Sims, oh, that's Kaya Loving, excuse me. Takes it and is fouled as she tried to pass it along to one of her teammates. 46 seconds to go in this third quarter. And the wheels are starting to fall off for Fordham in this second half of the third quarter.
Well, Anthony, the second quarter was normally the quarter where Fordham was falling apart, and then the third and the fourth were when they tried to fight back. But now, this third quarter is the one where Fordham has started to fall apart. But George Washington eagerly just not able to hit their shots. 1 for 4 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3 in their last attempts. They're letting Fordham stay in this game.
GW only outscoring 12-11 in this third quarter, but it feels like it's a much bigger lead here in this third quarter. 30 seconds to go, 15 on the shot clock. Jada Wilson out to Gabby Reynolds, left wing triple, kicks out. Omosholo gets the rebound in the right wing, and now dishes it out to Mason Hill. 18 left on the game clock. Likely the last shot of the third quarter, and Fordham weights it down. Tia Morgan, top of the key, taking the screen from Omosholo in the right wing. Morgan, spin move, right elbow J, no good.
Tia Morgan gets called for a traveling violation with 5 seconds left on the clock. That could have been such a momentum mover, but instead completely negates any momentum Fordham could have had.
Jada Wilson, 1 second left. Kamari Sims, the triple is no good. Misses the rim completely. That's the end of the third quarter. A 40-33 score heading in to the final 10 minutes of action here from the nation's capital. And Fordham needs to quickly respond in this fourth quarter to try and secure their second A-10 win of the season.
Anthony, George Washington is giving Fordham any single opportunity that they want right now. Fordham has the door wide open. The windows are open, the doors are open to come in and just try to get a lead back, but just unable to convert from the field from three. Just such a time that Fordham has been having on scoreless streaks in this game. We've seen it happen multiple times where they go scoreless. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's just quite tough to start winning a basketball game when you're unable to score the basketball. But yet again, on the George Washington side, they're doing the exact same thing as Fordham. But both of these teams are a defensive slog for both of them. Fordham 33 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds. Fordham out-rebounding George Washington 33-23. But Fordham just not able to get those second chance points, not able to convert. They need to start converting somewhere and just need to let the ball fly. Taking these extra possessions as long as they are just is not helping out Fordham.
This Fordham team out-rebounding GW by 10, but these second chance opportunities they are not cashing in on, and it feels like this Fordham team could have the lead by a large margin, or at least have it tied, but it also feels in the other direction that maybe GW can have a much bigger lead than what you see right now in a 40-33 ball game. But 1 for 8 for this Fordham team from deep, just struggling to make their shots here throughout these first 3 quarters. And we will see what the fourth quarter entails for us, but let's get you back to the Rose Hill Studios as Sam Giangrande has another one-on-one scoreboard update.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey New York, make sure to prepare for the heavy snow this weekend. But let's get into the hardwood quickly before the snow drops. In the A-10, VCU went south to North Carolina and lost to Davidson, score being 51-66. Then going up north to the Steel City of Pittsburgh, where Duquesne hosted St. Joseph's and the Travelers won 72-53. Leaving the city of Bridges and going to upstate New York, La Salle traveled to St. Bonaventure to play the Bonnies, final score being 83-74 to the away team. Loyola Chicago traveled to the middle of the country to play St. Louis in the Javits Center, score being 4-6 right now in the first quarter. Now for some NBA, the team from NYC, the Knicks, traveled to the city of brotherly love to take on the 76ers, final score being 112-109 to the Knicks. Down in Orlando, the Cavs are up on the Magic 10-7 right now, and only 1 hour from now the Celtics travel to the windy city of Chicago to take on the Bulls. That's all from me right now. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update. Back to you, Anthony and Kurt.
As we resume action here in the nation's capital, it's Easley at the top of the key. Over 9.5 to go here. Easley puts up the floater. No good. Wilson Saltos and Loving fighting for the rebound, goes out of bounds. It's going to be Fordham ball as Wilson Saltos slapped that one out.
Well, Anthony, this is going to tell which team is able to just figure out a way to get over. George Washington can maintain their lead here, or Fordham try to climb the mountain and get this lead back. They just need to start hitting their shots, and they can start doing something back on this George Washington team.
Kamari Sims moves left wing, now to the low post, back up top with Puri. Now short corner, and a foul is called. It's going to be a foul called on GW, actually. It was Puri. She tried to drive to the cup. Fordham catches a break there as that short corner shot from Tana Becker was good, but the foul obviously is going to remove that 2 points.
Both of these teams scoreless in 1 minute and 55 seconds for George Washington. Fordham has been scoreless for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Lucretia's left wing triple from Edwards. It's cash.
Never mind, Anthony. Cap what I just said. Fordham is no longer scores for those 2 minutes. Lucretia Edwards hitting another three-point shot, a clutch three-point shot to bring Fordham within 4.
Lucretia Edwards trying to see if she could step up when Fordham needs her most. 8:45 to go in the third quarter. Now Kamari Sims thought about the triple, trying to drive to the right side. Spin moving, puts up the bank shot, no good. Rebounded, secured by Becker. Shot clock resets. Jada Wilson on the left wing, losing control. London Lily hits the deck, along with Jada Wilson, another jump ball.
The extra effort from both of these teams as George Washington maintains the possession with 10 seconds left on the clock. And right now, for both of these teams, there has not really been anyone that stands out as the person that has been really helping them lead. Gabby Reynolds with 9 points for George Washington, their leading scorer, to Lucretia Edwards, who has 10 points for Fordham, 4 of 8, 2 of 4 from the three-point line for Lucretia Edwards. She's been stepping up, but she just needs to do a little bit more.
6 on the shot clock, Gabby Reynolds. The left elbow J from Reynolds, no good. Mason Hill secures the rebound. Dashing down the court, off to Easley in the left wing. Down by 4. Over 8 minutes to go. Easley taking a screen. Stumbles a little bit. Now dumps it off. Lucretia Edwards takes it. Pass was intended for Omashola. 15 left on the shot clock. Omashola, and she's fouled by Kamari Sims.
Kamari Sims reached in on Precious Omashola when she was getting that pass. 2 early fouls for George Washington. That only helps Fordham out as George Washington get them in the bonus sooner, and Fordham get to the line every time that George Washington fouls. That would be pretty huge for the Fordham Rams.
Shot clock resets, and it's in the far corner. Swiped away by Becker. Taken away like a kid's candy. Gabby Reynolds in the near corner. 2-man honor. Now it's Mia James. Nice move on London Lily. Driving to the cup. Bounce pass ahead to Becker, and she taps it in. They were scorers for their last 3 minutes. No more. 7.5 to go. GW back on the board. 42-36.
Right there, Anthony. Fordham tried to close the lane, but George Washington with a great heads-up play there for Becker, who comes right behind that close and gets the pass to go in.
And Omashola, tough defensive pressure, just put up a shot. Missed it wide. Mia James dashing down the court. Out to the near corner. Jada Wilson kind of slows things down. Here's Mia James for 3. She cashes in. Mia James from downtown. 45-36. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And that is a 5-0 George Washington run. And now Fordham down 9 points after just being down 4. Shows you how momentum swings in this game with 6:47 left on the clock.
London Lily left elbow J. Bounces across the rim. Omashola gets the rebound and don't know where she was passing that one to. Goes out of bounds. Maybe thought that London Lily was over there on the left wing. But regardless, a turnover for Fordham. A bad one, to say the least. And it's going to be GW ball with a chance to take a double-digit lead.
George Washington has the chance to take their first double-digit lead of the day. And Fordham needs to figure out a way to just stop this George Washington team. They've been doing a good job for the last 3 quarters, but just now George Washington seeing the ball go through the net and scoring at a higher clip than they have all game.
Kamari sings the triple. She rattles it in. Now a double-digit lead, 12-point lead to be precise. And it's a foul called on Fordham as Emma Theodorson fell down. So a chance for much more than 3 points here, but it seems like GW, after those first couple minutes here in this fourth quarter, have started to lock in, knocking down 2 triples and just trying to hit the dagger now.
George Washington getting the extra possession yet again. A chance to go up even more scores.
Kamari Sims near corner 3. Kicks off the front of the rim. Kayla Berry gets in the rebound. Gabby Reynolds fighting for the ball. That's another jump ball. Kayla Berry kind of seemed a little aggravated after that one, but just the hustle of Gabby Reynolds to even get the jump ball is impressive in itself.
Kayla Berry is aggravated because this is just a kind of aggravating game that Fordham has been playing so far. Allowing George Washington to go on an 8-0 run and not being able to respond. If I was on that court, it would be very aggravating to me too, so I can understand the emotions that they're going through right now.
Mason Hill kicked it out to Lucretia Edwards, but she stepped out of bounds, and it seems like everything just not going the right way for Fordham here. With 6 minutes to go, largest lead of the day for GW. It's 48-36. Mia James taking it down the near side of the court now, kind of crossing it over to the middle. Gabby Reynolds bounces it over to Kamari Sims in the right wing. Sims passing ahead. Gabby Reynolds taps one in off the bank. 50-36, a 14-point lead. 5:45 to go.
George Washington just adding on to their largest lead of the day right now, and Fordham has yet to respond. A 10-0 run unanswered by George Washington as they get the ball away, and now they're marching back down the court.
Mason Hill pass to Theodorson itself, and she actually travels, so Fordham catches a break there, but just got to have smarter passes here as they start to get into the crunch time. And it was just an easy takeaway there for Emma Theodorson, but Fordham is able to get the ball back. Still down 14, 50-36.
Fordham scoreless in the last 3 minutes and 33 seconds for this Fordham Rams team. And now this lead feels insurmountable for this Fordham Rams team, but we can see what they do. Very good in these crunch time situations.
Bounce pass ahead. Lucretia Edwards, reverse layup, no good. Gabby Reynolds takes it down. With 5 and change left in the fourth quarter. Maneuvering around. Theodorson, top of the arc, triple. Kicks off the front. Tia Morgan gathers in the rebound. Tia Morgan on her horse, taking it down the court. Now top of the arc, Lucretia Edwards going to pull a trigger. No good again, off the side of the rim. Back and forth here between both teams. Mia James in the left wing. Slowing things down. 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 50-36 lead. Theodorson out to the far corner now. Kamari Sims, that pass was deflected by Mason Hill, and she tried to tip it back into a teammate as that ball was going out of bounds.
Fordham calls the timeout. Right now, Coach B needs to draw up some kind of play to get them back in. A key three would be something that Fordham needs right now. An end-one bucket under the basket could be something that Fordham needs right now. Just momentum, Anthony.
Yeah.
Fordham needs some kind of momentum because George Washington has taken their wind out of their sails. And right now, the George Washington Revolutionaries are sailing over the Delaware with almost a win.
And it's kind of interesting, Kurt, because this third and fourth quarter seemed like it was going to be a good quarter for the Fordham Rams. Off to a nice start, making a couple baskets. And then GW just like turns on the gears and goes on runs all of a sudden. And Fordham goes on droughts of scoring. Now 4.5 minutes this Fordham team has gone without a basket. It's a 10-0 run for GW with a 50-36 lead. And Fordham, a much-needed timeout to try and figure things out and try and find themselves back in this game. But we're going to take a quick break here from the nation's capital. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Lydia Perner.
And Grace McCarran.
And we are two of your hosts for 5 on 3.
WFUV's best, if only, hockey podcast.
With all the storylines in the tri-state area, you won't want to miss an episode.
How will Matthew Schaefer fit in with the Islanders?
And will the Rangers have a bounce-back season under Mike Sullivan?
Finally, will the Devils be able to stay healthy and hit their full potential?
Stick with us all season for all things NHL and Will Cooley updates on WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back to the Charles E. Smith Center. A 50-36 lead for GW. Fordham struggling to find an offensive identity here in this game. The season low in points for Fordham, 49. Right now at 36 here today, Kurt.
George, right now Fordham in their season low of points. 36 in the game. Their season low was 49 on the season. Fordham has a chance to, with 4 minutes and 29 seconds, to get over that hump. But right now, it just has not felt like they're able to get there with 4:29 left on the clock. This has been a tough game for Fordham. This George Washington team has given them quite a lot of trouble on defense. And we saw this against the LaSalle team, that they were very disruptive, a very good defensive effort. And Fordham came very close to LaSalle. LaSalle is the second team in steals in the country, but in the A-10. But Fordham right now just not used to this George Washington defense that they're putting in, the extra work, and the wind has just been completely out of the Fordham sails while they've been scoring in this fourth quarter.
Theodorsson in the far short corner. 5 left on the shot clock as they aim back in. That shot blocked by London Lilly as Kyle Loving tried to go up. Could that be a momentum spark here with 4 minutes to go? Down 14. Easily at the top of the key. Over to Lucretia Edwards. Now back to Easily. A little back and forth action. That pass intended for Edwards knocked away by Theodorsson. Players hitting the deck on both teams, and Theodorsson able to dish it out to Kyle Loving. And now London Lilly in pain there on the left wing as the trainers go to check her out, as well as Coach Bridgette Mitchell. But 50-36 with 3:58 here. We're going to step aside shortly. So we hope London Lilly is okay. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Diaz.
And I'm Mary Hannah Gallagher.
And we're the hosts of All In, a women's sports podcast.
On All In, we discuss everything women's sports, from the WNBA, the AUSL, and NWSL.
No matter the sport, we have you covered.
You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcasts.
All In is a production of WFUV Sports.
Want to be part of the Ramley? It all starts here. I'm Nathan Rogers.
And I'm Kate Cox, and we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, WFUV's exclusive podcast for all things Fordham athletics.
From the field of Moglia Stadium to the hardwood of the historic Rose Hill Gym, we've got you covered with the ins and outs of Fordham sports.
Every week, every play, every round. Tune in weekly wherever you get your podcasts. This is On the Hill.
And we welcome you back to the Charles E. Smith Center in the nation's capital. GW and Fordham, a 50-36 game. After London Lilly appeared to be shaken up, walking off the court. We hope she is okay. Unsure of what the actual injury was. Looked like she was holding on to her chest area, maybe an arm injury.
Right there, London Lilly was holding on to maybe her shoulder, just an upper body injury there for London Lilly. Just a very big loss for Fordham. London Lilly, such a key member of this Fordham team. Only as a freshman, she's been doing such a great job at her role in this game so far today. Only 2 points, but 3 rebounds. She's been kind of filling up the stat sheet. 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. That she actually had a block down here that we called the momentum shifter. But now maybe this sparks Fordham a little bit more with 3:58 left to play. Fordham could have the opportunity maybe to do it for London Lilly. And that is something that Fordham needs to do because she looked very hurt off the court there. And we will see what happens for Fordham as we look a little deeper into this game. Fordham today, just the scoring aspect of Fordham has been quite difficult. Only 2 free throws on the game so far today. That is their season lowest for free throws made. Their season low is 3, so they still have time to make a little bit more. Thank you so much to our producer, Brendan Shorey, for giving us all these little stat nuggets. Appreciate you always,
Providing
Brendan.
us some great stats as the game goes on. We resume play. Mason Hill Shark diving for the ball in the inbound. Mia James takes it out to Gabby Reynolds. Theodorsson bounce pass ahead. Easily near, strips it away, and a travel's called. That's Kyle Loving there who made the basket, but travel called. Does not count the basket. Nice break there for Fordham. Still a 14-point lead, 50-36. And maybe all of a sudden something could light the fire for this Fordham team. Easily lobs it up ahead. Lucretia Edwards. Far side corner 3. Bingo! Lucretia Edwards, third triple of the game, 39-50, 11-point game with 3.5 to go.
Huge shot right there for Lucretia Edwards. Need more of that for Fordham. She's up to 13 points on the day. Fordham's first double-digit score.
Top of the key, Kaya Loving, Kayla Berry, smothering Loving. And a timeout called.
5-second violation. Fordham gets the basketball.
5-second violation. Shout out to Kurt there. Unsure of what the actual call was there.
This is some key moments for this Fordham Rams team that have just gotten a spark of energy. 2 possessions getting the ball. Just need a score here. Doing it for London Lily, who is in the locker room, hopefully getting well.
Easily in the right wing, now moves out to the near corner. Easily driving baseline, puts up the shot, is blocked by Gabby Reynolds. A foul's called. She disagrees with the call.
I don't know how you can disagree with the call there, Anthony. Karen Easley looked like she got mugged on that play. If we watch the replay up here, Karen Easley just gets the ball completely smacked and gets her body as well. Not something that was it was a very hard foul, and Karen Easley has the chance at the line to hit 2 shots for Fordham. Karen Easley this season has been a 68% free throw shooter, and Fordham now has their 3rd and 4th opportunity at the line.
Chance to make it from a double-digit game to a single-digit. She makes the first, 50-40. 3:03 left in this 4th quarter. 3 fouls called so far on the GW team. Something to look out for compared to the 1 from Fordham. Second shot's no good. Goes out of bounds on Fordham as Mason Hill trying to climb the ladder and gather that one in.
Something to point out right now that I just saw. The band of George Washington has blow-up George Washington figures as well as styrofoam beams that they swing around during the Fordham free throw shots. Thought that was a pretty funny little nugget while you're here at the George E. Smith Center.
Trying to just disrupt this Fordham team. Double team on Mia James. She escapes it well. 10 left on the shot clock. Gabby Reynolds swiped away by Lucretia Edwards. Mason Hill gets it, and Tia Morgan takes it up. Out to Kayla Berry in the right wing. Slows things down. Lucretia Edwards now in the right wing. Top of the key, it's Mason Hill. Pass ahead to Kayla Berry. Kind of seems like she was getting held on, and she was. A foul is, yes, it's going to be a foul on Mia James of GW. Almost seemed like that's like a 10-yard penalty in football there, Kurt. That was obvious from all the way from here.
That was holding. Definitely was holding, Anthony. And now Fordham in the bonus. So next foul is Fordham gets shots.
Lucretia Edwards in the right wing. Top of the elbow. Jumper, no good. As Mia James fell to the court. Would have been a top 10 play on ESPN if Edwards hit it. 2:15 to go. 50-40. Tia Morgan trying to swipe it away from James. James just slowly trotting around the orbit. James dishing out. Kamari Sims, top of the arc. Thought about the triple. Now goes up and dishes it out. Far corner 3 from Gabby Reynolds. No good. Rebound secured by Kayla Berry. Now getting double teamed and bounces it ahead to Karen Easley. Fordham in acceleration. Tia Morgan, far side corner triple. No good. Skips across the iron, and a foul is called on Fordham. Mason Hill gets charged with it.
Listen, Anthony, right now what we're seeing from this Fordham team is a lot of fight and a lot of grit, something that we've talked about in this broadcast. We might not have seen this whole game, but in these final 2 minutes, we're seeing this Fordham team have a lot of heart.
Trying to see if they can pull off a miracle late comeback. Down 10, but in a minute and a half to go. Kamari Sims up top. Gabby Reynolds moves towards the right wing. Knifing through the defense, puts up a shot, and Mason Hill is called for another foul, this time on the shooting side. And you can kind of see what she was mouthing there, kind of going, what? Like, didn't believe that she got called for the foul as Reynolds heads to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
I think Kayla Berry is a little more upset because that is her 4th foul. So her next foul, she will be checking out of this game for the rest of the day.
That first shot is no good from Gabby Reynolds. With a minute 28 to go. Reynolds second on the team in free throw percentage. She cashes in that second one. Now an 11-point game.
George Washington only hitting 7 of their 13 free throw shots, 53% from the line.
Mason Hill out to Tia Morgan now, back out to Hill. A little back and forth between Morgan and Hill, and Tia Morgan puts up the shot going down the left lane. It's no good. Mia James accelerating down the court. One-on-one with Edwards now bounces it out to Becker. She's unable to get it out, and a travel is called against Hannah Becker.
Becker right there was trying to get that James Harden level foul bait there, trying to hook under her defender, but the ref was having none of it and called the travel because she had those extra steps when she swung through her defender.
Final minute here. Fordham down by 11 and easily going up. Whistle's blown. Looked like it was a foul called on GW.
I mean, Fordham needs those fouls right now because now they're getting shots at the line, and Karen Easley has to hit these two to bring this game back into single digits. Still would be a 9-point game, Anthony, but crazier things have happened.
The door is slightly cracked open.
The door is definitely open. I don't think it has been slammed closed yet as Karen Easley banks in her first.
Calm and composed at the free throw line. Mentioned the blow-ups. They just kind of pop out of nowhere. Weren't expecting it. The band playing a key role on the far side of the court as Easley knocks down both free throws. Theodorson checks in for George Washington. GW with Gabby Reynolds on, Jada Wilson, Mia James, Kamari Sims, Emma Theodorson. For Fordham, Mason Hill, Karen Easley, Tia Morgan, Kayla Berry, and Lucretia Edwards. Mia James double teamed. Pass deflected by Mason Hill. Somehow got out to Gabby Reynolds in the right wing. Reynolds searching for answers. And give me an off-ball foul called.
Fordham had the foul to give. So now they're in the bonus, so now they cannot afford the foul. But I can assume that Fordham will attempt to trap, but I don't think Fordham might play the foul game yet.
Well, we've seen a lot of traps being used by Fordham in previous games, and that defensive pressure that they create as they gets out to Gabby Reynolds here, and they don't play that trap game. Gabby Reynolds goes up, banks it home. 2-pointers good, 53-42, and a timeout called by Coach Bridgette Mitchell with 33 seconds left.
And now I think, Anthony, that shot might have been the dagger. But I think more than anything, we've seen that this Fordham team's grit is still alive, but yet again, Anthony, we're not seeing it for an entire 40 minutes of play. I think this storyline continues as this game goes on, is that Fordham has just been unable to all year figure out a way to survive a full 40 minutes on the basketball court, and yet again, they turn it on with 2 minutes and some change left. But 2 minutes is not enough when you haven't been hitting shots really all day. Right now, you're 1 for 8 from your last shots from the field, and you're putting in that effort again, but you have to do it for the full 40 minutes. And it's looking like that George Washington could come away with the win. There's still a crack left open in the door. Fordham needs to hit some shots really quickly and trap and get some steals and not allow for George Washington to get to the line. But if you ask me, it feels like that last shot by George Washington was the dagger. But Fordham should definitely keep their head up at the end as Fordham gets the extra possession under the basket.
32% from the field today, a season low. Their highest scoring quarter, funny enough, it's the second quarter with 14. Not what you want to see from an offense. Karen Easley, left wing triple, no good. Comes up short, Lucretia Edwards on the putback. The short corner shot is good. Lucretia Edwards has been an offensive spark throughout this game. As the timeout is called by GW, 22 seconds left in a 53-44 game. Kurt, I mean, what's the game plan got to be going forward to at least try and make this somewhat interesting in the final seconds?
I mean, head coach Adi Dadon does not really want this George Washington team to allow Fordham to get back in. That's why she's calling this timeout. George Washington's head coach, first year back at the program after leaving, to go back as as Colgate's head coach for the last few years. When she was at George Washington as an assistant a few years ago, she saw them win the A-10 tournament in 2018 as one of their top assistants. So she knows how good George Washington basketball has been and can continue to be. But just a very tough moment for George Washington after having a very tough start to the A-10 season. but now they appear to almost have their third win and almost be above 500 halfway there with 3-6 on the season if they're able to close this game out.
This would be a huge A-10 win for them. They've really struggled with A-10 games this year. They average 55.3 points. That's pretty accurate, I would say, in A-10 contest. As Fordham fouls Tana Becker to the free throw line, 56% on the year. But for George Washington, they've only reached past the 60-point mark once this season. It was a 70-point effort in a loss to Rhode Island as Becker banks the first free throw shot, and 6 out of the last 7 contests have ended in a loss in A-10 competition for GW.
Well, Anthony, yet again, this George Washington team has played some great competition in, as Fordham calls a timeout after George Washington knocks down those 2 free throws to bring it up to 11 points. This George Washington team has played some great competition, even playing an overtime game against Miami, a better conference than they are in at the moment, as well as just some good competition that this George Washington team has played. They beat Northwestern on their home court as well, Northeastern as well on their home court earlier in the season. This George Washington team definitely has talent, but so does this Fordham team, Anthony. And that's something that we should not yet give up on from this Fordham team, is the amount of talent that they do have on this roster. It's just going to keep getting tougher as you keep losing these games. Yet again, nothing matters once you get to the A-10 tournament, but now your goal is to try to win some games so you can maybe get a little bit of break before the A-10 tournament and not have to play the extra game in the beginning of the week.
Lucretia Edwards looks to inbound it in, gets it out to Easley. Back over to Edwards, tries the near corner 3. That shot was blocked, doesn't reach the rim, and a foul is called on Fordham with 14 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 55-44, just about over here from the Charles E. Smith Center. And going forward, Fordham resuming action on Wednesday in Virginia against VCU. A 2-game road stand here for Fordham, but almost seemed like if you're not going to win both of those games, you have to at least win one.
Now you have to try to go and beat VCU. I mean, VCU is another team that has had that have had a tough time during the A-10 play this season as well. I mean, now that's your whole goal in the end of the day, is trying to go to beat VCU. And Fordham should be able to do that, a very similar kind of competition, as Lucretia Edwards hits her 3.
Knocks it down. Lucretia Edwards, 18 points on the game. And now 56-47 in this game. But for Fordham on Wednesday, I mean, just hoping that there's some good news within the injury report for them that can maybe help them win, not only with London Lily, but also Alexis Black, of course.
If Alexis Black is back, this Fordham Rams team has definitely a leg up. I know you could see her that she's been kind of helping with, she is one of the captains on this roster, and you can see that during practice as well, that she's been kind of leading this Fordham team a little bit more, helping as a coach, as a leader of this team. Only being here for 1 year, she's been a junior, and she's trying to uplift and lead this Fordham Rams team and try to help them. And Fordham just needs that help. Right now against VCU, they are 3-6 on the year. Fordham is the second lowest team under a Duquesne team that has yet to win an A-10 game this season. So Fordham's just going to have to continue to try to put in that effort, trying to get up the hill, because half this time, from LaSalle to George Washington splits them by 2 games, Anthony. So Fordham has the opportunity, if they go on a little bit of a run, to get back into the middle of the pack. It's just going to take some time, and it's just going to take some winning basketball that Fordham needs to start trying to play. It's going to be very tough, and it's going to be hard, but they're going to have to figure it out one way or another, because if they don't, they're going to be diving to the bottom of the conference.
And after this game, I mean, we talked about just climbing a mountain in this game. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb in the A-10 standings. Such a competitive conference that they've struggled in so far this year. And mentioned a little bit of Alexis Black. They've only had 3 games with her in the A-10 season so far, as Both shots at the free throw line good from GW. 58-47 game. 8 ticks left. Going Fordham. And Fordham's going to have to pull off some gritty wins going forward to try and climb their way back up the conference standings.
Listen, Anthony, we've seen Fordham all season be very gritty. We've seen them do the extra effort plays. We've seen them try with more effort than the other teams are willing to give for the most part. And Fordham with the, yet again, out-rebounding George Washington, more offensive rebounds than George Washington, more defensive rebounds than George Washington, who are actually a much better defensive rebounding team than Fordham is. But yet again, just not able to hit your shots at a high enough clip. Fordham only 25% from the three-point line, 19 for 57 from the field, 33% from the field, and in the fourth quarter, shooting 26% from the field goal. Their highest quarter from the field, actually, was the second, when they shot 50% from the field. And Anthony, we talked a lot about this over this weekend when we were maybe touring the Washington Monument or walking around and talking in the hotel room as well, talking about how Fordham has struggled in the second quarter a lot. And Fordham has shown a change in the second quarter, really helping and really matching well with this George Washington team. But just Fordham needs to figure out a way to play that 40 minutes of basketball. Who knows when it's going to happen, but it has to happen soon. Coach Bridgette Mitchell has quite a lot of experience coaching teams, coaching all types of teams, so she has to figure out a way.
Top of the arc triple from Edwards, no good. Jada Wilson just going to dribble this one out. Clock hits 000. GW defends home court in the nation's capital, knocking off the Fordham Rams 58-47. Fordham now falling to 1-8 in conference play, 9-11 overall. And it almost seems like a must-win on Wednesday night against VCU. But for this Fordham team, offensively, a struggle throughout the game. The offensive spark, Lucretia Edwards, 18 points. 4 for 17 from deep for Fordham. All 4 of those made from Lucretia Edwards.
We said we wanted to see a big game from Lucretia Edwards, and Lucretia Edwards gave us that big game. But yet again, she needs some help from other teammates that she has. Other teammates have to go into double figures with Lucretia Edwards. I know you saw Karen Easley with 11 of those points as well, but just you need that extra effort. When they beat St. Bonaventure, Fordham had 4 players in double figures. They really need this extra help from everyone involved. And Fordham now, as you said, they need something must-win. VCU is a game I've never seen more of a must-win before. I think now you have to win against VCU, because the next game that you are really going to be playing against a team that you should win a lot, you should basically wipe the floor with them, is Duquesne, who is 0-9 on the season, and that is in only a few weeks. So right now, leaving George Washington, we have to go on a 5-hour bus ride back home, trying to beat the snow, Anthony. But Fordham, yet again, falls to George Washington 58-47.
5-hour bus ride from Fordham all the way to here, and then now from here to back. Doesn't matter how you got there, you still got to show up with a winning attitude.
You have to show up with a winning attitude. And would I say that Fordham today showed up with a objectively winning attitude, Anthony? I don't know about that. I don't know if we really saw the effort that we usually see from this Fordham Rams team that is expected of this Fordham Rams squad. When will that change? I know Coach Bridgette Mitchell is very unhappy in the locker room. You can definitely know that. So we have to see what happens to Fordham and what way they go out and play next time. It's all a new opportunity. You've got to be like a goldfish, forget what happened the day before, and now it's a fresh start and a fresh opportunity. But VCU, Fordham will be coming to you pretty soon on Wednesday, and they will have to win that game at VCU. There is no other option.
We'll be back at that game on Wednesday night, me and you, Kurt. The bus ride back should be pretty interesting. And then as for this Fordham team, we kind of mentioned having to put this wild weekend behind them, and it's been just a wild weekend in general, winning the A-10, then winning their first A-10 game of the season, then losing heartbreaking fashion on Wednesday to St. Louis. The whole traveling debacle that went on these past couple days, the 5-hour bus ride, supposed to be a plane, the game getting moved up a day, and now just kind of a gut-wrenching feeling here today. The London Lily injury, and then just losing this game in the way you kind of did. It seemed like pretty close throughout these four quarters, but I think me and you talked about this, Kurt. It doesn't feel like it was as close as it was today.
Every lead felt like a mountain that Fordham had to climb. It was a 3-point lead, and Fordham just was unable to climb that mountain. Eventually, things can change, Anthony. This Fordham team shows a lot of fight and a lot of grit. It's going to take some time, but now there's not much time left. There's only a month left of A-10 play as February comes rolling around, and then you go right into the A-10 tournament. So, Fordham, if they're not going to be able to do that, at least set your sights to the A-10 tournament. And we will be there broadcasting it all for WFUV Sports.
As always. Well, Kurt, it's been a pleasure to have this DC trip with you. Final score here in the nation's capital, 58-47. Let's get you back to the Rose Hill Studios one last time for a full, in-depth post-game report. Here is Max Langer and Sam Giangrande.
The one-on-one post-game report.
And we welcome you back inside the Rose Hill Studios, where the Rams fall to the George Washington Revolutionaries by a final score of 58-47. My name is Max Langer, alongside Sam Giangrande. And Sam, we will get into that game, but first, you've got a one-on-one scoreboard update.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Hey y'all, Sam here, and you know what I'll be watching tomorrow since it's time for the NFL Conference Championship on Sunday. The New England Patriots are traveling for the first time during these playoffs, going out west to face the Denver Broncos. Though Bo Nix is out, locals in Denver have their faith in Jarrett Stidham, who is facing his old team that drafted him back in 2019. What were you doing back in 2019? The Patriots are used to these cold conditions, but will they be able to handle being the traveling team for once? The Patriots against the Broncos will happen at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Then at 6:30 p.m., the Rams go up north to take on the Seahawks in the Emerald City of Seattle. Will the Rams be able to break through the Seahawks D-line, or will they get stopped by the best defense in the league? The country has their eyes on this game, which starts at 6:30 p.m. I'm Sam Giangrande with the one-on-one scoreboard update.
Thank you very much, Sam. Welcome inside back here to the Rose Hill Studios. And Sam, we talked at halftime about the Rams. They were trailing by 6. They really needed to come out in the second half and take better care of the basketball. And in the early third quarter, they did, right? They got it down. They were only down 32-31, but they just couldn't seem to break the dam and take the lead. And as the third quarter progressed and we got into the fourth quarter, they started being careless with the basketball again. Turnovers left and right. They finished with 19 turnovers, which is absolutely abysmal. They need to get better care of the basketball. They need to adopt a method from Lord of the Rings. You know, Gollum, when he has the ring, he says, "My precious." That is what the Rams need to do to the basketball. And these 19 turnovers, that they had today were really what killed them in this game.
I agree. And if anything, I think this Fordham team really just needs to focus on getting that ball, having it secure, and getting it through that basket. I think Fordham, they have a constant happening of where they will start out strong of both halves. They will start off strong in the first half, and then in the second half, they'll come out blazing through those gates, and then it's just quickly they start slowly falling behind to where they just can't catch back. They can't catch up at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we saw today, and your point is well heard, right? They've got a season low in points. They shot a season low in field goal percentages, and they just don't have enough scoring around their offense, right? Obviously, we have Lucretia Edwards, who had a very nice game today. She hit 4 threes, even though 2 of those were when the game was essentially out of reach. I think the Rams really need Alexis Black back to provide a scoring punch because they just cannot seem to match up with the firepower of these teams like George Washington. We heard Anthony and Kurt talking about VCU on Wednesday. That's going to be a tough game. They've got a lot of scores over there in Virginia. I just think that the Rams, as they're currently constructed, cannot compete with these top teams in the A-10 conference. They just simply don't have enough talent. And Alexis Black, we heard she was shooting around at shoot-around today. That's a good sign. We don't know exactly when she'll be back, but that is something that the Rams desperately need back in order to get back into the middle of the A-10 conference standings.
The thing is, though, Fordham should be able to perform without Alexis Black. It cannot just be a one-woman show when it comes to this game. I think Fordham really needs to learn how to play without her. I think when she is in the roster, they do play well, obviously, with her, and then be able to play around her, but they should be able to learn how to play without her. I think that's one thing Fordham really does need to learn. It can't just be a one-person show every game.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but when I look at the stat sheet right here, we've got Lucretia Edwards as 18, right? She's been very consistent all year. We have Karen Easley with 11. She has been, those two have been the best players for the Rams all year. They've provided the most scoring punch. Emma Wilson-Saltos, not her best game, 2 points, 1 of 6 shooting from the field. Those three have kind of been the big three for the Rams ever since Alexis Black has gone out, but they're just not getting enough scoring from other parts of their roster. London Lilly was unable to put up more than 2 points today. Mason Hill, Kayla Berry, Serta Tate. These girls, just aren't contributing enough on the offensive end to offset. And you look at what George Washington did. They got at least 4 points from 8 different players, right? They have so much depth, and that allows them to make more substitutions, whereas the Rams, who are already down their best player in Alexis Black, are not able to catch up with the Revolutionaries.
Fordham on both ends, on the men's and women's team, is very consistent to where their bench play is very, very weak. They are very over-reliant on players, and it causes people to get tired out, to get burnt out, which is what happened in this second half, to where they came out strong and then they quickly fall behind and burn out, just because the depth of this teammate is not that strong compared to most teams where they have a large roster who will always score. This team is really coming down to 3 to 4 players.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think one thing we can give credit to the Rams today, looking at the bright spots, obviously Lucretia Edwards had a very good game, put up 18. I also think even though the Revolutionaries put up 58 points there, that the Rams defense was actually quite good. They held George Washington to 33% field goal shooting, which you'll take any day of the week and twice on Sundays. I think the issue is the free throws. George Washington shot way more free throws. They made way more free throws than the Rams. And then the threes. It just felt like whenever George Washington needed a three to sort of extend that lead from 4 to 7 or from 5 to 8, they were getting it, in the form that would really just put the Rams down, and they were not able to keep within striking distance until about the last 4 minutes of that fourth quarter right there.
That's something Fordham has very much struggled with, is getting within range of being able to overtake the other team. It's something Fordham really needs to learn how to keep consistent. Fordham can't just keep getting within close range within only minutes before the game ends. So one thing Fordham really does need how to learn is how to stay in the game through the whole time. Build up that momentum instead of just pushing it to the last minutes of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Mitchell has actually talked all season about this, how they need to be able to play a full 40 minutes, and the Rams have struggled with that. They've had great first quarters. They've had great fourth quarters. And that second and third quarters where they seem to run out of gas and can't, be performing well, and they just seem to be outmatched by the other teams there. Coach Mitchell, that is, thinks it's psychological, and the Rams were not able to overcome that today. As we say, Sam, basketball is a game of runs. The Revolutionaries made more runs than the Rams did, and that's why they took this one 58-47. But that is going to do it for us here in the Rose Hill Studios. My name is Max Langer, joined by Sam Giangrande. We got Brendan Shorey behind the boards for Kurt Sippel, Anthony Smith. Our sports director is Bobby Schafferdini, and Fordham Women's Basketball is a production of WFUV Sports.